What's up, everybody, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of DDM TV with your boy Big Dice. And on your way in, man, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And if it's not too much for you, man, go ahead and hit that like. Anyway, man, we're moving on into Darrell Brooks and day 3 of the trial when he was pulling that whole COVID-19 fiasco. You know how he do. He's injured. He's sick. Anything he could try to do to get an estoppel on the case. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
To that.
You don't believe that has that's an important issue that should be taken up before we continue any further in the proceedings?
Man, a shout out to all the new subscribers that have came through, man. I really appreciate you guys coming through to support Big Dice.
Before we take that up. I'm not seeing it in the record yet, so I did a F5, so it'll refresh.
So the prosecution will receive a copy?
Suge Avery, salute.
Printed now for them. It is in the record.
Now look, right off top, I want y'all to peep something, because as we get further into this video right here, you're gonna see how he turns right back into the old Darrell Brooks. Because right now he's pulling the whole leaning over, talking all low like he's really sick, but then his real self comes out later on. And you guys ever notice, like, when somebody tries to act sick, they always kind of lean over or start holding their stomach, kind of got a slouch to them and stuff like that. That's how you can tell with somebody trying to get out of work or something. You know what I mean? Like, you look at people in your house and they be like, you look at your kids and shit, and when they come and they don't want to go to school, what do? They get to slouching. Oh, I'm sick. I can't go to school today. You know what I mean? That's Darrell. I'm telling you, this is that TV baby. The boy never grew up, so he never knew how to act. You know what I'm saying?
And then I'm gonna print off something as well. I don't know if it was already.
Respectfully, would like to state for the record and would like the record to reflect that I believe that this is an issue that should be addressed at this point before we go any further.
Preparing to do that. I didn't say I wouldn't do that. So give me a minute. I have some documentation that I'd like to provide to the parties as well. And I want to confirm with Attorney Opper that you have now received a copy of that inmate communication form.
They should have
Yes,
put.
I have one in front of me, Judge. It's dated today's date, October 5th.
They should have put shock devices on his ankles, so every time he got the talking out of turn, they just light his ass up.
Because I just learned of the protocol that I would be on as of today.
Can you print or make 2 copies, one for each party? All right, I'm going to provide a document to the parties. It's a 5-page document. It is a document that was forwarded to me at my request by Monica Paz, our clerk of court, after receiving the inmate communication form from Mr. Brooks requesting an adjournment. For the reasons stated in that document, I thought it important that we all have before us the current county protocol related to COVID-19. And so this will be provided to the parties.
Now, mind you, what she's printing out is the protocol for the county, for the jail, and what their protocol is up against what he put in.
I'm inclined to accept that if I don't believe
Sir,
it
will be placed on your table, but I will be referring to that
Now,
today,
if you're trying to claim that you're on a COVID protocol, that you've been tested in the jail for COVID-19 because you being fatigued and loss of taste, which, I mean, you could be tired and not have no taste for any amount of reasons. You understand what I'm saying? But if she's telling you that we're printing out county protocol for the jail and the protocols that they go through for COVID-19. Now, why would you not want to accept that? Because if you really did this, if you really went through testing and all that, and you're supposed to be placed on a protocol, then why wouldn't you want that paperwork? Why wouldn't you want that right in front of your face? It can only help your fight as far as adjourning the case for until you get your results back or whatever, right? This nigga don't ever make sense because he know this shit's a lie.
Law, Your Honor.
Attorney Opper, do you acknowledge that the COVID-19 illness reporting protocol was provided?
I respectfully object.
Yes, Judge.
Your Honor, I would like an answer to that question if I may. Because I have not consented to or agreed to accept any paperwork that.
Sir, it's been
It's not
provided
okay.
to you. It's
So are you
something I'm going to
making-
consider. You don't want to
Are you
read it.
making-
You
are
want
you
to
making a
disregard it. That's
judicial-
your choice.
Are you making the judicial determination that you don't have to answer that question I just asked you, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, the COVID-19 protocol has been placed in front of you. It is your choice whether you want to review it or not.
You see what I'm saying? You're claiming to be on a protocol.
So my understanding.
So she's putting the protocol that's for the county right in front of you, giving everybody the paperwork for it. You, the DA, even she has it right in front of her. To go up, not necessarily to go against what you're saying, but to basically question you about the protocol and see what you went through so that she can find out if you're telling the truth, because she can't just say, oh, he say he got COVID, he put it in writing, and because he said it, then we got to do it, because that's how he carries out the whole case. That's why he's always on that, I don't consent. I don't agree to that. Anything that's not going his way, he don't consent to it. Don't consent to it. You understand what I'm saying? And he's been doing that his whole life, running over women. And I'm sorry, I'd have to say, because he's raised by a certain woman, because, man, the more I find out about his mother, Dawn, the more I see he's a product of his environment. He's a product of that woman. And she may be a product of somebody in her life, her parent or something like that. But once again, it's generational curses being passed down. Because when she even read the poem and said all that stuff about his mental illness and all that type of stuff, did she not sound just like Darrell? Did y'all not see that was exactly who he sounded like, was his mama? Shit crazy. But I'm telling you, the generational curses is for real.
Just
Habits
from the
are
information,
learned.
Mr. Brooks has provided, which is part of the public record, is he is requesting an adjournment of all proceedings due to learning that he's on a COVID-19 protocol. I don't have any other information.
B-Town, salute.
But based upon you providing that information, again, I did I was provided with the COVID-19 illness reporting protocol. I wanted to make sure that I had the most recent information that at least the county of Waukesha is operating under. I also verified with court staff that the location at which you are seated is not within 6 feet of any other individual in this courtroom.
Nope. Not within 6 feet.
Is there
So
any
you
other
shouldn't have to
information
worry,
you
and
think
you
I
got a
should know
mask
as
on.
I consider your request for an adjournment today.
Yes, I find it hard to believe that you couldn't consult with jail staff to verify the protocol, to verify that I was seen by nurses that
I don't have that
specifically-
information, sir, and let me be clear, cannot be provided to me under HIPAA. The only information I have is what you put in the inmate communication form.
It could be verified because I was told when I was brought down here that everybody knew that I was on COVID protocol. That's why everybody
Because you advised us.
That's why, no, it's because the jail advised them. That's why they had to wear masks.
Well, let me just say this, because all of you that been with me for a little while, you guys all know that I've been locked up before. I did years. and I've got out, rehabilitated myself and everything and all that whoop-de-wham, whatever. But if there's something like if you're going through a court proceeding and something takes place in the jailhouse, like let's just use COVID for example, which COVID wasn't around when I was there, but even if you had the flu or anything that may be contagious to anybody else, the jail might not be able to give out your medical information, but they would definitely let the judge know off top that you're under a protocol. You understand what I'm saying? And even in that instance, in today's day and age, they would have just had him go and do video court. They would have had him line up at a video screen, and he would have been able to do court that way. Doesn't matter if it's a trial or not. You understand what I'm saying? So off top, I'm sure the judge and the DA know this is bullshit. This is another one of his tactics, trying to delay the court proceedings as he's been doing the whole time. But first and foremost, the jail, like he said, I was informed that everybody knew, and she said, we know because you told us. But it's not the jail that informed the judge or anything, because this is something that's only coming from him. It's only coming from him because if you was under a protocol, they would have never taken you out if you had to stay confined to your cell. Nobody would have ever taken you out. They wouldn't have took that chances. They wouldn't have took those chances with their correctional officers or anything. You would have been confined to a cell if the protocol was that serious. But like he said, it's dated for the day that they're in court because he wrote that up. And I mean, while I'm thinking about it, the nigga ain't in general population or nothing like that anyway. Even the DA said that in the court proceeding, saying we won't. They don't have him. Excuse me. They don't have him in general population or able to really be around anybody for his own safety, so that other inmates won't harm him. This dude full of shit.
To bring me down. That's why I'm essentially on a protocol that doesn't allow me out of my cell until my results come back. So I'm not allowed out of my cell at the moment because of the protocol that the nurse himself placed me on, that the jail confirmed.
Yeah, hey, my bad, y'all. Now don't don't look at me like a Darrell Brooks, but I've been under the weather myself. You understand? I've been dealing with something for years, and it flares up every now and then. I have an idle hernia in my stomach, so when it get bad, it get bad. So I've been down and under the weather. I've been trying to respond to comments and all that type of stuff as much as I can, but I had to get myself together, get myself right again, and you know what I mean. Here I am. I'm back live.
That is very
my apologies.
Easy information to obtain.
Sir, I have an attorney for the county here who will verify that none of that information has been provided to me due to HIPAA requirements.
So but you
I'm
are
not arguing it with you, sir.
I just want you to know that I'm not arguing with you either, but I was right in the middle of finishing what I was saying.
So I need to stop you for a minute,
Red
Mr.
flag,
Brock,
salute.
I don't consent to that, Your Honor, because
you don't have to consent.
I
but here we go. Let me
to being cut off right when I'm trying.
All right, I'm just going to talk over him for a minute. I do not have any other information regarding
I'm not trying to avoid a
COVID-19 protocol, meaning anything specific about you, Mr. Brooks, other than what was put in the inmate communication, which reads, due to just learning I'm on COVID-19 protocol, I respectfully ask for all proceedings to be adjourned at this time, which is why I asked you if there was any other information you wanted to provide me as I consider your request, because the jail has not provided me with any specific information regarding the reason you were placed on protocol, whether you were exposed, whether you are showing symptoms. They cannot provide me with that information absent you giving them permission by signing an applicable authorization to do that. Without that, I have to rely upon you to provide that information to me if you so choose.
That is incorrect, because just yesterday you were trying to obtain the witness list that was in my cell. You had no problem whatsoever having the JA come down here to have me verify that they can go in my cell and search for that. So I find it very hard to believe that you can't consult with jail staff for them to tell you what is going on in my situation, where they know that I've just been seen by a nurse that placed me on this protocol for having a loss of taste, fatigue, and I have to wait for the results of my test, and until then I am on a protocol which restricts me to my cell. That is very easy.
There it is right there. Now, if you're on a protocol that restricts you to your cell, they would have kept you in your cell. And they would have informed the judge of why you were in your cell. And they also would have asked you for consent through the HIPAA law. They would have asked you for consent to let the judge know what's going on. Other than that, they would have just said you're on a COVID-19 protocol and you can't come out of your cell. You can't be moved. Just because there's a court date don't mean you would have been moved if you were on a protocol unless you know what I'm saying? Unless you said that, I don't know. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going based off of what I know from the jail. If you're on a protocol where something may be contagious, then they're going to keep you in your cell, court date or not. And they would have informed the judge of that. And the judge would have most likely, see, that's where he messed up at. See, you should have did it right. You should have went through the proper procedure for this protocol, especially if you knew you was going to be on a protocol, and had and gave consent for them to tell the judge instead of even being here today. But yet you're here. You're in the courtroom. So that means there was no real protocol where you had to stay confined to your cell, because they would have definitely let the judge know. I don't think he get that the courts and the county jail roll hand in hand. The only information that she has is from the inmate, you know, whatever she called it, the inmate conversation form or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Let's go, man, because this dude, he already making me sweat.
To obtain, and I find it very hard that Your Honor cannot obtain that information, but can.
Oh, he tooted up in the air because, like I was saying earlier, when I first started, he a TV baby. You know what I'm saying? And when I say he's a TV baby, it's not necessarily that he always watched TV. I'm just saying he's still a child. So, you know, when your kid come to you talking about they're sick and they can't go to school or something like that, they come leaning over, holding their stomach or something like that. He's putting on a show right now. Just like you see his voice is going right back up from what it was in the beginning when he was, oh, Judge, I'm a little under the weather. But soon as they said anything against what he was trying to do, his voice went right back up to Darrell Brooks, the antagonist.
Obtain a way to communicate with jail staff when there's a witness list involved. We're talking about someone's health that can affect not just you, but anybody else.
Yeah.
Not just
I'm still live.
Officers, but also inmates. We're talking about health and we're talking about safety. That has a lot of merit. And frankly, Your Honor, I'm afraid. I'm fully vaccinated and I've never had COVID. I don't know what I'm looking at here. That was the last thing I was hoping I would be told today, Your Honor. So I'm afraid right now. I'm not feeling well. I don't know what's going on with myself. That's the reason why I put in the sick call slip initially. I had been telling officers for days that I hadn't been feeling well, but I didn't know what it was. But I felt that I had to put in the sick call slip because I was not able to taste anything. That is the reason why I was seen by nurses. That is the reason why the COVID test was administered, and that's why I'm on the protocol as we speak.
Are you willing to discuss with me what tests were done? Again, I cannot obtain that information on my own.
I'm not a nurse, Your Honor. I don't know the name of the test. Like I said, I've never had this happen.
Let me clarify that. That was a pretty ambiguous question.
That boy got some ugly fingers.
you reported symptoms as that's what you're telling me, right?
Correct.
And you're saying some tests were done?
I mean, that it's obvious. I mean, why can't it be verified with the nurse?
Why
I
you
have
can't
to
just say,
verify
yeah,
with you.
I
The
was
nurse
tested?
will not provide me with this information.
But the jail can, because they control the movement. They control all inmate movement. I can't just go from my cell to a HSU.
Inmate movement is not the issue at the
It's
moment.
not, but I'm saying, how can I tell you?
Look, did y'all see Judge Darrell's face? When he cut her off again, like if you see her face, look, if this motherfucker had a face, that was that face. Ooh, this motherfucker.
How can I answer what you're asking me?
Yes, I can see your comments.
It doesn't make sense. We all understand that the jail itself controls the movement of the inmates. That's common sense, Your Honor.
I'm not here to talk about
I can't
movement
just-
at the
I can't
moment.
just
What I'm
walk to
asking
the
you is, were you?
HSU.
Do
And
you
I'm talking
believe
to
you were
Nakia
tested
Brown.
for COVID?
Did I say that right, Nakia?
I obviously was tested
I don't
for
wanna mess
COVID.
up your name.
I would not be on the protocol if I was not.
Do you know
The
what
nurses-
type of test? Was it an oral swab, a nasal swab?
It was a nasal swab.
All right. Do you know when the results of that test will be back?
From my understanding, Friday. That's what I was told by the doctors. I would have to be at least on this protocol until the results come back, which
Were you-
he said the earliest would be Friday.
Were you offered a rapid test?
They said they do not do the rapid test.
So you weren't offered a rapid test?
They said they don't do them.
You see this the shit that irritates me with him. She asked you a specific question twice. They said they don't do a rapid test. So you weren't offered one? They said they don't do a rapid test. Nigga, did they offer you one though? Or did you ask for a rapid test for them to say they don't do a rapid test?
If one can be obtained, are you willing to submit to a rapid test?
I'm not willing to submit to anything right now until we take care of the issues that's at hand. I mean, I've already been placed on the protocol. I'm very afraid right now because I don't know what's going on. This is new to me. Like I said, I'm fully vaccinated, Your Honor. I've been fully vaccinated since 2021. And so for this to just be sprung on me now to say this could possibly be a COVID thing, I've had people close to me that have passed away from COVID. I'm afraid as hell, Your Honor.
Who the hell you had die from COVID?
That's the reason why I submitted the ICF for the adjournment. I was thinking at least until I can get the results, at bare minimum. I don't think I'm asking something that's
Sir,
impossible for
if
Your
I
Honor to
can
grant.
make arrangements to have a rapid test brought to you and administered, are you willing to submit to that test?
Not at this time.
Why not?
Not at this time.
Why not?
Why can't I get the results for the test I already took?
So if you're scared, and this is the last thing you wanted to be told today, is that because they didn't say you had COVID, he's playing it like he has COVID, but he's still waiting on results. Then how do you know you have COVID if you're still waiting on the results? But Judge Darrell is sitting here telling you, if I can get you a rapid test, are you willing to take the test? Not at this time. He'd rather just wait until the results come in on Friday. What type of sense does that make? Why wouldn't you want to know immediately? Because if it can only help what you're trying to do, which is delay the proceeding. If she gets you a rapid test and it says you have COVID, then she can just send you back and we'll just wait the 2 weeks. Not until Friday. We'll wait 2 weeks, 14 days for the COVID to be gone. Test them again. And then right back to the proceedings. You actually get a whole nother week. But this nigga don't want to take it.
But you're telling me you're scared? You're
Yes,
fearful?
I am.
But you don't
very.
want to take a test that might
I
tell
took,
you today?
I took the test that he gave me.
And
if
you're
he
telling me
felt-
that test result won't be available to you until at least Friday.
At least Friday, that's what I was
So
told.
tomorrow.
Man,
I
he
was
go
told
around in
that I would
circles
be
like
placed
crazy.
Day
on this
after.
protocol until the results came back. The earliest that the results would be back would be Friday.
So that sounds like, to me, I think that's what they call a PCR test.
I have no idea, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have no idea what it's called. Like
Let
I
me
said,
ask
I've
you-
never had COVID. I don't know the test names. I don't know what they call them.
I'm generally familiar with some of the testing for COVID. There are
Exactly.
tests that can be
He
what
know
we
he ain't
call
sick.
rapid tests, or what are called rapid tests that are available. And then there's these other tests which take a few days. It's, again, I'm not a scientist, but I think the general belief would be sometimes the rapid tests are accurate, sometimes they're not. Sometimes people test negative when they're really positive. It just kind of depends on the circumstances. But it's my understanding a positive test would be pretty accurate. And then there's other tests that take a few days for the results to come back. It really depends on the lab that's being utilized, etc. I'm asking you once again, if a rapid test can be obtained, are you willing to take a rapid test?
How would that be obtained? How would it be obtained?
I would
was
work
told,
with-
I can only go by what was told to me, because when I was brought in there and they told me that they had to test me for COVID, I was immediately like, what do you mean you have to even test me for this? What is this about?
Well,
I had
didn't
a
you report
lieutenant.
symptoms to them?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I had a lieutenant and 2 officers present when I was asking all these questions. Why do I think? What's going on with this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is that? Because I didn't understand. Immediately in my head, I started to get afraid when they said they had to even test for COVID.
Well, were you reporting?
Y'all notice he don't.
being
Y'all
sick
notice he
and-
don't never understand nothing, but he don't never stop talking to understand. And I can almost guarantee you he the type of person that doesn't listen to understand or comprehend. He listens to respond. That's it.
Symptoms prior to them asking you to.
Like a lot of people do on
Yes, I
social
told
media, they don't listen to understand. They listen to respond.
Multiple officers. I didn't know what it was at first because it started with fatigue, with me feeling very fatigued. And I said, man, I don't know if it's just me being tired, or that's what I initially thought it was. Maybe I'm just a little exhausted. But I said,
Super
no.
Kelly, I appreciate that.
Anybody knows their body. I said this got to be something more, because I'm really, I don't even have an appetite. Then
Look,
when
now anybody knows their body, right? But if I'm not mistaken, in the interrogation room, since you know your body, and you kept saying, man, I know something's wrong with my arm when they slammed me down, which they never slammed him down, but he know his body, and there was nothing wrong with you then. And somebody's supposed to believe you now. Man, give me a break.
I'm trying to eat, I can't taste anything. That's what said, okay, now I need to put the medical sick
When did you
cards with
report
it.
these symptoms to the?
That doesn't
medical
make
people, or
sense.
to even just
Listen,
a
she
correctional
got him right here.
A few days ago.
Look, he said he was feeling fatigue and he couldn't taste nothing. That's when he knew he needed to put the sick call slip in, which he said he did that this morning, the day of this part of the trial, day 3. He said he did that this morning. That's why the paperwork was dated for that day. But when she just asked him, well, when was it that you knew something was going on? A few days ago. But you just said when you didn't have no taste, you had lost of taste. That's when you knew you had to put the sick call slip in, which you did this same day. Now all of a sudden it's a few days ago, and I can see her down there writing shit. She clocking him.
A few days ago, over the weekend is when I started to notice the fatigue. So I was telling officers, man, I don't feel good. I don't know if it's just I'm tired. Usually I don't just jump the gun and say something's wrong, because it may just be.
Yeah, you do.
It could be anything. So
When did you report the loss of taste?
I reported the loss of taste last night.
And was it after that that
Oh,
they
okay, he
told
got
you
me
they
right
wanted
there.
to test you?
No, they didn't tell me till this morning that they wanted to test me.
What other symptoms are you
But he still didn't put the sick call slip
reporting
in
at this
until.
time?
That was it so far.
Okay, let me back up real quick, because he didn't get me then. Because she just said, well, you know what I mean, when did you report the loss of taste? He said last night. He said they wanted to test me this morning, but didn't you say you put the sick call slip in? Or did they come and tell you that they were going to test you themselves? Lies stacking up on him.
Just the fatigue and the loss of taste, which is the reason why I was told that I had to take the test. Which I was told at that time also that the earliest my results would be back would be Friday.
And you said at this point you're not willing to take a rapid test.
Well, they said this is the test that they do. The nurse was very clear in what he was telling me when he told me how the test, because like I said, there was a lieutenant and 2 officers right there while the whole thing was going on.
I understand all of that. I have a very specific question to you, sir.
I was asking them questions, and he specifically told me that this jail, this is the test that they do. They do not do rapid tests. I didn't even ask about the test because I know nothing about the test. This is what I was told. And after he told me that, I said, okay, fine, just do the test and I'll just sit on the protocol, because at first when he told me, you know, you're going to have to be on a protocol where you're isolated. I said, okay, fine, just do the test. I'd rather you do the test and make sure that I'm healthy than to just refuse the test and just say, I'll just wait for it to see if I get better or something like that. So I said, yeah, just go ahead. And that's what I was informed. Friday would be the earliest that I would get the results back, and I would be placed on a protocol which is called isolation, where I'm not allowed out of my cell.
Anything else, sir, you think I need to know?
Look, David Brown, I don't know if you asking me how do I know when he's telling lies, because that's an obvious answer, or what. But since I feel like you're questioning me about it, well, I don't know when he's telling lies. I figure everything coming out of his mouth is a lie, because I know people like this. Never stop talking, always telling lies. He don't even know he lying. You know, he one of them type of people that lie so much they start to believe their own lies. Lies just stack up. And as far as delaying the proceedings, he's been trying to do that since day one. You know what I mean? So I don't know when he's telling lies. I'm just going to say I assume allegedly he's lying.
About this issue as I consider your request.
No, at this time.
But just fatigue and loss of taste, man.
Multiple officers were there. They can tell you the same thing that I'm telling you.
Big Tree,
now.
What's up, man?
Like I said, a Lieutenant Chamberlain was there. 2 officers were there.
Any objection if I talk to any of them to confirm what you're saying?
Absolutely not.
Any objection if I need to ask the jail administrator about, or anyone else at the jail about the protocols and what's available for testing?
Absolutely not.
I'm not sure if this is the one where Opera said that or not.
Given any information about whether anyone else in the facility is experiencing COVID right now?
Could be, though.
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know who. I'm in the mental health medical pod as it is.
So no information's been provided to you that there's like either a lockdown or...
I figured that was what it was. I just
some type
didn't.
of restriction
If it was a question for me, I didn't want to leave it unanswered, David. That's cool though.
Like concern over COVID at this time?
I would never have that information, because like I said, I'm limited in the pod that I'm in. I have no interaction with any other inmates, and my interaction with staff is pretty limited.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that additional information.
Which means he's already isolated. So what's a COVID-19 protocol that you would have to be isolated, like he said, if you're already isolated?
I know, sir, what I've provided to you is generally the, for employees, I fully recognize that the jail may have different protocols just because of it being in a correctional
Oh, this is the one,
facility,
Cali girl?
And inmates are, of course, or can be very close to one another. And so I don't want to presume that this is exactly what they follow. And so I'd like for them to tell me what their protocols are as I consider this request. At the moment, I told you this earlier, you're not within 6 feet of anyone else in this courtroom. And I believe that provides ample protection for the other people in this courtroom. As I consider this request, you've provided information to the court. You've been able to tell me the symptoms that you are reporting, your understanding of the protocols, and despite you
exactly, Cali girl, like a
fatigue,
whack 100 or some shit.
I know. I don't know if you're standing or sitting on the chair. I can't quite tell. It appears like you're standing, but maybe leaning over the table.
I got a knee on the chair.
Oh, knee on the chair. Okay, but you've been able to very clearly, coherently make your position known to the court at this time, and I appreciate that. Let me ask Attorney Opper if there's anything you would want to provide or state at this time regarding this request.
Yes, Your Honor, a couple of things. Number one, we believe this is nothing more than a further delay
Yeah,
tactic
this is
by
it.
Mr. Brooks. I can advise the court, as an officer of the court and as an offer of proof, that he is.
How could
Mr.
that,
Brooks,
how
did
could
you
that
hear
even,
Attorney Opper interrupt you when you were talking?
well, I respectfully object to
You
that.
can object, your objection's noted, but you need to let her state what she needs to state.
I
will give
object to
an
you calling me out on
opportunity
my
to
lies.
respond. I didn't-
How dare you say I'm lying? How dare you call my lies out? They may be lies to you, but this is my truth. You know, I hate when people say that. I'm just speaking my truth. Usually when somebody say that, they lying, right? And I know he didn't say that, but low key, that's basically what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like how I object to her calling out my lie.
Encourage you to use
That is
paper and a
ridiculous, Your
pen
Honor.
to write down. That's the rules of decorum in the courtroom, sir. We generally avoid interrupting one another so that, number one, the record can be clear, and perhaps most importantly, because that is a sign that we all understand that this is a place of dignity, it is a place of respect, it demonstrates that,
Oh,
frankly, a
stud
willingness on the
missile head having ass boy.
participants to conduct themselves appropriately. It avoids creating disorder or disruption. So I will give you an opportunity to respond, but you need to give Attorney Opper an opportunity without interruption. Go ahead, Attorney Opper.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, again, we believe this is a delay tactic in line with the defendant's behavior since about the August 25th or 26th motion hearing. I can advise the court, as an officer of the court, that Mr. Brooks has been saying for the last several weeks in his recorded jail calls to his mother and others that he's going to get this trial delayed or adjourned or pushed back. This behavior, again, on the 11th hour is 100% consistent with that. I believe that if the court wanted more information from the jail administrator, she is present and could provide that information.
Look, his mama helped him get over 1,000 years. Y'all do understand that, right? Y'all do understand that, and I guess his mama ain't never wrong to him or some shit. She had your ass outside in the backyard in a tent though, but his mama helped him get 1,000 years, thinking she know what she talking about. He should have stayed off that damn phone, like, especially as many times as Attorney Opper, because they had to bring this up multiple times through the case, that they're listening to your jail calls, you idiot.
I believe.
But you know,
Mr.
somebody that can't stop talking don't never catch theyself.
Brooks has waived any HIPAA privacy rights he may have in that
Facts,
regard,
Opper the
and
chopper.
indicated that to the court. And also, I believe she would be able to provide information if the court ordered her to do so. I believe that even if he is on COVID protocol, it will have zero impact on his ability to prepare for this case. As we've learned already, and I'm prepared to make a further record, he has all of his discovery materials within the confines of his jail cell. He has a tablet made available to him in the confines of his own jail cell, and he has the ability to use a conference room in his pod. I don't believe the COVID protocol would interfere with his ability to access that conference room whatsoever. But again, I could verify that with the jail administrator if the court thinks that's an appropriate fact. The fact that he claims to have started reporting symptoms as far back as the weekend, we're probably right up against the 5 days right now. If he started this on Saturday, which I don't believe there's any record of, we're at 5 days right now. And certainly the court's offer to...
I never once said...
Mr. Brooks,
I never
you have
said...
an
I never,
opportunity
no,
momentarily.
No,
You
I
need to stay
respectfully
quiet.
object to that because that has no merit.
See,
Mr. Brooks,
I-
it's not
she's
your
saying-
time
no,
to speak.
No, I respectfully object. I never
no,
reported...
no. See, and and I know people hate when I say it, but there's one of the instances where I have a problem with the judge. Spark at this nigga. You wear the black robe. Don't let him sit there and nope. I'm gonna say what I have to say. Nah. Smash all that. Take your COVID-19 ass over there to the other courtroom now. That's where I'm sorry. That's where I would have kept him. Since it's legal to keep him there, I'd have kept his ass in there. Period. Every time he pulled that outlandish stuff, I don't know. I'm a different type of person, so maybe she don't want to yell. Maybe she's not that confrontational like that. So put his ass in the other courtroom where you can stop him from disrespecting everybody else.
Reporter saying what day? I never said a day. And if you saying she's saying she has jail phone calls, well, why aren't they present? Why can't they be verified by sworn affidavit and brought into this court to be shown that this is a delay tactic, as you say it is? How come it can't be shown by sworn affidavit?
Because it doesn't have to be shown. You're fighting a case against them. They're fighting a case against you. They don't have to show that. All she's doing is giving her perspective of what she thinks it is. The same way you're giving your perspective and opinion on what you think is going on with your body, on the protocol and everything. Why haven't you provided anything or had the jail hit the judge up, hit the courts up, and let them know all this? Why do they have to go find it? Now, if they would have went and found it, you'd have been, where's the affidavits and where you, man, shut up.
Can you provide proof of
Fucking
that?
idiot.
All right, Mr. Brooks,
Look,
I've given you a
I'm
little
gonna
bit
tell you
of
like this. If I knew that nigga was in the county jail close to me, I'd get put in the county jail. That man put me on a 90-day evaluation and put me in there with him. Oh, me and that nigga would rumble. And probably not even rumble. Well, I don't know. I can't call the man out, say he can't fight or anything like that. But man, I give his ass a tacit agreement in that motherfucking in that cell. You know what I'm saying? Tell you, show that nigga some jurisdiction in that motherfucker. Pause.
way
Just like you're
because we
saying
are outside the
that I've
presence
waived
of the
something,
jury.
I haven't given consent to waive anything. I've simply told the judge that I had no
Oh,
issue
man.
with her verifying.
Yo, David,
with-
my bad for pausing it, but David Brown, man, would I love to hear them phone calls. Man, I would love to hear them phone calls. Maybe one day somebody will drop them. You know what I'm saying? One of the jail staff and shit. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. We've seen stranger recordings and videos come out that can only be dropped by correctional officers, police officers, and all type of shit. You know what I mean? So maybe one day we'll. Oh man, if we get them voice recordings of him talking on the phone in the jail, oh, we going buck wild over here on this channel. Trust me.
the jail that this protocol is in effect and that I was in effect tested for COVID-19.
Opera should
How could
definitely
that
become
be
a judge.
delay tactic? If that was a delay tactic, why would I even need to be tested and placed on the protocol? Why does everybody have to have on masks to bring me down here?
He ain't moving like he got COVID.
All right, Mr.
Is
Brooks,
there no-
I've
is there
given
no
Shit,
verification?
I've
Mr.
seen
Brooks,
people
I'm
with
gonna
COVID.
warn-
Hell, I had COVID myself. At least I think I did, because I ain't never been sick like that. And I think I had got it before it really went national, before it went big and everybody knew what it was. My whole household was sick. like about 6 months before it really came out in the news that there was COVID-19. My whole household got real sick. And I mean, sick in a way that I've never felt. Like I've had the flu, and having the flu, he wouldn't be in there like that. He'd be kind of fucked up. Y'all remember Michael Jordan playing basketball with the flu. And even though he did good, I think he was just trying to get through the game, because when you looked at him, he was messed up. You ain't never seen a dark skinned brother like that turn so blue. So when I got sick like this, and I would have to say it was COVID, because from seeing other people with COVID and hearing how they said it felt, I'd have to say I had it. And he ain't moving like he really got COVID, man. Forget fatigue and lost of taste. Man, your whole body is messed up, and you talking too much, because you would definitely have lost. You mean your breathing is messed up and everything. Your respiratory system would be jacked up. You feel me?
You now that you have interrupted a couple of times. You interrupted Attorney Opper twice.
Oh yeah,
You're
Sharon.
now interrupting me yet again.
Hey, if any of y'all, and I'm sorry for pausing, but after all the appeals and all that, if any of y'all get wind of any of them recordings, y'all please let me know. DYSEtvofficial is my email. DYSEtvofficial@gmail.
We all were polite and had you provide
That was not
information.
polite. That was abuse.
That's the third
abuse.
interruption of this court.
That was abuse by the prosecution. That was abuse.
Facts,
Mr. Brooks,
dog.
let me finish.
No, because that's.
So he's outright refusing to listen.
I would
He's
not sit
outright
here.
talking over me
I didn't
at the
refuse
moment.
anything. I didn't refuse
Mr.
anything.
Brooks, we are at the
I'm
point
not gonna,
yet again
I'm not
where
gonna
I
sit,
will put you in the other courtroom because
and
you
I
are
don't
not
consent.
able.
I don't consent to being removed. I have not waived the right to be present, and I don't agree with that.
Mr. Brooks.
Does the
I
record
have
reflect?
provided you on multiple occasions and it's should be in front of you.
No,
and
I
if
don't.
not,
I don't acknowledge that. I haven't agreed to it.
you have been
and I
advised
haven't
on
given
multiple
consent of it.
occasions that you need to abide by the standards of courtesy and decorum for the courts of Wisconsin. Because you are a litigant, you're both a named defendant, you are now acting as your own attorney by
I'm not a named
representing
defendant.
yourself.
I don't recognize the name
That all of the
the
rules
state
of courtesy and
put on
decorum
their
apply
complaint.
to
I don't
you.
recognize the
That's a
name,
fact,
Your Honor.
B-Town.
That is not
Supreme
who I
Court
am.
Rule 62.02 details many of the requirements for courtesy and decorum.
Look, B-Town, I know people. I've met people in this world that will have full-blown conversations with people, and all of it be a lie.
referenced a couple of them on multiple occasions, including that sub 1 sub F of 62.02, that proper conduct and attire is expected within the courthouse, and where possible, individuals,
Sharon, I watched that
including
channel.
Yourself, right, are to refrain.
I forgot the name of that channel that has all the little transcripts of the booking and all that, but I'm subscribed to that channel too.
Yourself in a manner which demonstrates sensitivity to the necessity of preserving decorum and integrity of the judicial process. You have been advised multiple times, sir, of the expectation that this court has that you conduct yourself in a civil manner. You've been advised multiple times that this court will not tolerate disruptions, interruptions, that when you do that, you run the risk of forfeiting your right to be present in the courtroom. As you know, I have available the courtroom next door that's connected to the holding area. It is connected by audio and visual means. It provides you an opportunity to meaningfully participate by also giving the court the opportunity to
carry.
Control the decorum, to control the disruptive behavior, because primarily your disruptive behavior
I love her
is
channel.
repeated interruptions of this court, talking over this court, now talking over the prosecutor. I appreciate that you have not interrupted me for quite some time. So at this point, though, I need to warn you that further interruptions may very well result in you being removed to the other courtroom where you would participate by audio-visual means.
Characters Productions, if you guys are not subscribed to her channel, man, y'all talk about a deep dive. Go over there and subscribe to that channel. See, that's what I do love and appreciate about this whole sector that does this content right here, because every channel you go to, none of us is doing it the same. All of us are doing it totally different than each other, which makes for us all able to coexist, watch each other's channels, support each other, because even though I do Darrell Brooks content and I go watch the videos from the news channels and stuff like that when I want to do my own content on it, but for the most part I'm watching other content creators and their perspective and what they do on it. You feel what I'm saying? I've never really, like, as long as I've been on YouTube, I've never really seen a sector where everybody's doing the same content but their own way, their own spin. So if you guys see other content creators that's doing Darrell Brooks content, go subscribe to that, because they're gonna give it to you a whole nother way. They're gonna dig in a whole different way. Like what is it? Who is it? What's his name? AG Tactical. I like how he does it. I like how AG Tactical does it. Dude be funny as hell sometime too. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people don't like how some of us come off, because I get a lot of flack in the comment section by some of my comments about Erica and all that type of stuff. But I like Norman Nix also. Norman Nix lives out here where I live. I know him personally, you know what I'm saying? But me and him do content a little different. You know what I'm saying? Drip Drop. That's the first place I got any content from. The interrogation that I did first, got it from him. You know what I mean? So I love this sector and the fact that everybody's doing it different. And Auntie Miracle B, me and her come from the same sector, reporting on an old cult called Carbonation years ago. That's my girl. That's my sis right there. You know what I mean? So subscribe to these channels, man, and support these people.
This time, I would like to hear from the court administrator, especially as it relates to the protocol.
You're right, dog, mommy. He definitely don't respect women.
That's all right.
That's okay. We're in court, and I would like to hear from the jail administrator. Thank you very much. And just to get some general information, and perhaps even some specific information regarding the what Mr. Brooks has provided, since he indicated I could verify all of this information.
Facts,
with either
David.
Lieutenant or others.
I'd have dove on his ass.
So I believe we have
I'd have went viral
because Wallenhoft here, if she would
I'd have dove on his
the
ass.
Witness stand.
And hey, if y'all see anybody, you know what I mean, like if y'all seen that little interview with Jay Prince, the black dude that was talking about you know what I mean, it was all Erica's fault and Darrell shouldn't be in jail, and this is, you know what I'm saying, this is the white folks against the black folks, man. I'm a black man and I do not stand with that BS. That dude is looking for attention. That's exactly why he went and got the seat lined up where he knew the camera was on him. That's why he was sitting right behind him. You understand what I'm saying? Trying to get seen. And after that whole thing, then he's straight onto YouTube doing interviews and talking crap. But ain't nobody standing up for that. Don't nobody agree with that. I don't give a damn if it was all white people he was mowing down and he was doing it for the black. He wasn't doing it from that ain't my people. Period, point blank. That's not how we getting down over here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not plowing down a whole bunch of innocent people in the name of black power or anything like that, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not agreeing with that, and I'm not rocking with him with that. So, man, if y'all see any of the interviews with the dude Jay Prince, and I don't mean Jay Prince from Rap A Lot, I mean Jay Prince, the black dude that was sitting right behind him with the dreadlocks later on in the case. That dude, if blasphemy was a person,
If I don't want to mix issues, but the inmate communication.
Yeah, she
form
died of
from
a drug
September
overdose.
28th also still needs to be addressed by the court, and I think the jail administrator may have some information relevant to that issue as well.
All right, thank you.
Please.
I have a list of a bunch of things I want to
Yeah, I turned that
go
BS
over,
off
and I'm gonna-
also, man. Even the dudes that was interviewing him was two black dudes. Was two black dudes interviewing that guy. And even they was like, man, what the hell is wrong with you?
Are we addressing the issue at hand now?
We are.
Or are we addressing something from September?
Well, I will get to the September inmate communication form at some point during this hearing, but right now I'm addressing the most recent inmate communication form that is dated October 5, and that addresses your request for an adjournment.
Which is today.
I'll have
that
you
day.
sworn in. I'll just do it. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly
Todd,
swear
what's
that the
happening?
testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Would you please state your first and last names for the record?
Angela Wallenhop,
Would you spell your last name?
W-O.
Exactly. All clout chasing.
N-H-A-U-P-T.
Thank you. If you could please advise us on the record again of your job title and responsibilities.
I'm the jail administrator for the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. I am head of the division in charge of all staff and inmate issues.
Oh no, he probably
Provide
is a sovereign
information
citizen.
to the court on the general
Dumb and dumber
COVID
citizen.
protocol within the jail.
Judge, I would prefer to not speak to the operational considerations with that. I can speak to the fact that there are different protocols that are put on people for different medical or management reasons.
Hey, I love how
with-
people talk in Waukesha. I love how people talk out there. It be reminding me of that old cartoon, Bobby's World. Oh, gee golly, Bobby, don't you know? I love it. And I'm not clowning them. I seriously love how they
I can
talk.
speak to the protocol Mr. Brooks has placed on, that it won't affect the area he is living in, nor access to areas that are not other inmate occupied.
That seems fair. I don't want to certainly put all of your operations on display. That's not necessary. But if you could speak to the specifics as it relates to Mr. Brooks's current situation.
So he would remain in his current cell housing location. He would have
Sharon, that's the
access
only
to
way
a
I could watch it. I
conference
tried to
room.
watch the interview the other way with Jay Prince, and it just wasn't happening. You know what I mean? But when I watch it through AG Tactical would be funny as hell sometimes. So I can get through it when I'm watching it on his channel because he be clowning.
If he needed it, access to a telephone. And we would be able to, it's a safety security measure for him as well as our staff. And we can safely produce him for court.
I'm telling you, she sound like Bobby Mom on the cartoon. I love it.
When I hear the phrase being on a protocol, that to me could have more than one reason. Someone could have been exposed, someone could have tested, or someone could have reported symptoms that required testing. Would I be mistaken in any of those beliefs?
You are correct, Judge.
Would there be any other reasons for someone to be placed on a protocol, a COVID-19 protocol within the Waukesha County Jail?
No.
Man, that's
And would you tell
exactly
me
how it should
which
be.
one of
People,
those
we
three
should all be
options
promoting each
has
other.
prompted the COVID protocol for Mr. Brooks?
Judge, I have not reviewed his medical record prior to arriving here.
All right, fair enough. Do you have an understanding of what that is?
Yes,
Based
however,
on information provided to you?
yes, however, he has not signed a release allowing me to speak to the court. So if you are ordering me to speak to the court, I can speak to what my understanding is.
Mr. Brooks, I took your statements earlier that you would not object to me asking jail staff about the current situation to verify the information you provided. Is that still correct?
I said that I wouldn't have any issue with pertaining to myself. I don't know. I'm not speaking about anybody else in the jail. I'm not speaking about everybody's situation is different.
Right, and I'm specifically referring to your situation.
Well, the question was asked in, how does it pertain to me? It was pertaining to me, all the questions, which it came up when I said that there was a lieutenant and there were officers present when I took this test from the nurse.
Right, I'd like to verify the information that you're providing to me regarding
That's
what
all
was
she's
reported
trying to
by
do
you,
is verify the information.
What tests were administered, and why you're on the protocol with the jail administrator. First of all, do you understand what I want to ask her about?
No, I do not understand.
Did you hear what I said just now?
I do not understand.
But did you hear what I said?
Frankly, Your Honor, I think she would probably be the wrong person to be asking because she wasn't present.
You must understand then what I'm saying if you think she's not the person who would provide that information.
I don't understand.
So
I didn't consent to understanding or agreeing to that. No, I didn't.
So jail administrators there who can verify what the COVID protocol is and all that, and based on the fact that you're lying, and she's definitely saying shit that you're not agreeing with. Because if you were under a protocol, well, then the best thing that can happen is the jail administrator be right there to let the judge know, yes, this is how the protocol works. This is what's going on. He should be confined. You should delay the proceedings. Right or wrong? But no, she gonna say everything that he's going against because he's full of shit. Just like his homeboy, which he don't even know is his homeboy, Jay Prince. Full of shit.
I do not understand.
all right. I took his statements earlier. I realize you don't have a written waiver as to
B-Town, you be safe out there, man. Have a good day.
Of any privacy rights under HIPAA, and I am directing you to answer the question.
Okay. It was brought to my attention shortly before
Thank you
the
for
lunch
always
hour,
showing up,
that
fam.
he had made statements that prompted the medical department to follow up. As I said before, I have not reviewed the medical record. It is my understanding he was administered a test. He was also offered another test, to which he refused.
Another test, meaning the rapid test?
Do you have any information regarding whether this other test would have been a rapid test?
Ding, ding,
Believe
ding.
it to be.
Ding, ding,
Do
ding.
you have those tests available in the facility to offer to an individual?
Got
I
him.
have one available right now.
Boom. Got him.
Of me or of the witness?
Jail administration.
Go ahead, you can ask a question.
Ms. Wallenhoff, if there were different types of tests available, why wasn't I administered the correct test when I first was tested? Why would essentially I would be asked to take a test, take that test, then turn around again and be told to take a whole nother test? In my mind, that's almost like some type of ploy or something, some type of scheme. Why?
Oh,
I asked
It's
the
a
question,
hustle.
why would I not be given the correct test from the get-go instead of having to take two tests?
yeah.
I've already taken it. If I'm-
How dare you bring up facts? Didn't this nigga say he's not gonna argue any facts?
Already taken
She got that rapid test.
one test.
You have to give her an opportunity to answer, and you
I've
gotta
already-
ask one question at a time.
How's it a
Ask the
scheme?
question.
What do you mean? What do you mean give the right test? You just sat in here and said that they told you they do not administer any rapid COVID test. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they administer a rapid test in jail, you idiot? If there was ever a place for a rapid COVID test to be held, it would be at a jail. That's something that the jail would want to know immediately because the threat of multiple lives in the jail, in the facility. That's why his argument don't make sense. You're trying to delay the proceedings, bruh. That's all it, well, he was trying to delay the proceedings. The proceedings is over. The nigga got like 2 million years.
Can she answer it then? Do you want her to answer it?
That mean if he die and come back and die again and come back, every time he come back, he as a baby, he going straight to lockup. Institution, baby.
Assume you do since you asked the question. so you
What
need to
Robin
start
Harris used to
talking
call
so
it,
that she can answer,
test
okay?
tube, baby.
Limit your abuse, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I don't appreciate being talked to that way, Your Honor.
Your objection is noted. Go ahead and answer.
Big ass
Judge, I would
kid.
prefer not to answer that question. He states the wrong test. I don't know what he's speaking of. I have not reviewed the medical record with what test was administered, so I would prefer not to answer that question.
All right, fair enough.
I did not say
Look,
that.
I know I said before that they should have gave him a male judge and all that shit, but I'm gonna go ahead and like he say, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and go ahead and agree with David Brown on this one. I do love the fact that it was all women in this proceeding, even though I have my own little quarrel with Judge Darrell and the way she handled it. But I mean, hey, handled it, she did. You know what I mean? Whatever. I still think she should have came down with an iron fist on him half the time. But the fact that he's the type of person that think he can talk to women and treat women the way he do, oh, this was classic. That it was all women that put your ass under.
Test. I said 2 tests.
Now, as far as the free world, Darrell
Why would
Brooks
I
is
need
no
to take
longer.
2 tests for the same symptom?
Your Honor, I object to relevance and beyond the scope of this witness's knowledge, and it also assumes a fact not an evidence.
All right, so I'll sustain
That's my
the
champ right there.
objection.
Opera is my champ.
I'll give both parties an opportunity to ask questions of this witness since it's Mr. Brooks's request. I know you've.
Yeah, he
do
did
you
have a
any
male
other
judge at
questions
first.
For Jail Administrator Wallen Hupt on this issue at this time.
Opera the chopper.
I don't think I was clear, or I didn't have clarity on the answer to that question.
Every day. He probably sitting in his cell
What
thinking
I'm
about
asking
them.
Is, why would I need to take 2 tests for the same thing? There shouldn't. If I'm taking a COVID test, why would I need to take another one?
Because the other one would be a rapid test so that we can continue on with the case. Because there's other court cases that have to take place, other trials that have to take place. This nigga think he think the world revolves around him. It's like he think he's in his own little personal Truman show. Everything is about me and what I got going on. And I don't consent to anybody else having anything going on in this world. I don't consent to that. I'm Darrell Brooks Jr., not senior, junior. And y'all don't even want to get on senior. See, that's why I don't care how y'all feel about Norman Nix or anything like that. One thing he is doing is he diving in. He's looking for, he's going back through the history to see if this how far this learned behavior goes back. Because one thing I tell you about Darrell is no matter how much we despise him, he was definitely a victim growing up too. These are them generational curses. And I'm not giving him a way out, but hurt people hurt people.
Lack of foundation and beyond the scope of this witness's knowledge, Your Honor.
The objection is sustained. I'll direct the witness. She does not need to answer that question. Next question if you have
Facts, David.
I still don't have clarity on that, Your Honor. I'm baffled.
Do you have another question? A different question?
Would it be any way to verify why I would need to take 2 tests for the same symptoms?
Y'all do know that Darrell Brooks Sr. Y'all do know out in Nevada, this nigga called in a bomb threat. I forgot what place it was, but this nigga called in a bomb threat. His father caught in a bomb threat. And now his own son, I just seen recently, his own son is up to all kind of mischief, getting arrested and all that type of shit as well. Got that same little blank look in his face as his father does. 3 generations of that blank look in their eyes. Like soulless look. Look at his
I
eyes.
understand the question,
No soul
sir.
in there.
I think
I'm referring to the nurse who administered the test.
the nurse isn't here, though. This is
Was
Jail
it the Nugget
Administrator
Casino?
Wallenhoft.
And that's why
Yeah,
it's
I think
hard
it
for me
was,
to
huh?
wrap my head around why Mrs. Wallenhoff would be called to testify when she was not present. I think the wrong person.
I
is
want to say he
testifying.
called in. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Do you have any other
I
questions?
want to say
for her?
he's
I-
called
I
in multiple bomb threats. His father did, Darrell Brooks Sr.
understand what you're saying. Do you have any other questions for
Are you
her,
sure
though?
Are you sure you wrapping your head around what I'm saying, Your Honor?
Do you have any other questions for this witness?
To your knowledge,
That nigga said, "Are you wrapping your head around
you
what
just
I'm
said
saying?"
that you have a rapid test available right now. When did that become available? Because I was told otherwise.
I know there is a rapid test available right now. As I stated before, it is my understanding that you were offered a rapid test and you refused.
So why was I not offered a rapid test from the get-go?
Objection, relevance.
If she knows, she may answer.
David Brown, if you get a
For that,
chance,
I
go
have
check
not
out Norman
reviewed
Nick's
the medical
channel.
record, jail contracts with the medical
He died. He's the
provider.
reason why I learned more about. He's the reason why I ended up even being interested in anything outside of this case. How I started finding out about Corey Runkle and Erica Patterson's situation, and they little fights and all that type of stuff, and them being on YouTube asking for donations from people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's how I learned about that. But he's going in, he even found the grandmother and all type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I say people that do this content, no matter what channel you go to, everybody's gonna have a different spiel on everything. Just like you go to characters, you know what I'm saying? And she's getting shit I can't even find. You know what I mean? Like all type of transcripts and everything.
Thank you. Next question, if you have one.
So there are more than one type of COVID test administered by this jail.
Again, the jail contracts, Judge, I prefer not to answer that. The jail contracts with a medical provider. I do not direct testing for medical conditions. That would be our medical contract.
Look, I like the jail
With the
administrator
records
because she ain't gonna
clear that
go tit for tat with him.
A rapid test was offered.
Point blank,
It
I got
was
one right now.
declined by Mr. Brooks. The record's also clear
I
that he
object
did
to that,
submit.
Your Honor.
And look, let
he
me
did
tell
sub-
you, Norman Nix is he's straight to the point, and he is who he is, and he gonna say what he need to say in his content. So, you know what I'm saying? Just giving you a warning. Might be some things you don't like, might be a lot of things you do like, but if you going over there to dig a little deeper to see where things are coming from, definitely go check him out.
Mitch,
Me personally, I rock with him. I like the shit he be on.
to a test, but this witness is not able to answer whether that was a rapid or not, given her role in the Waukesha County Jail as the administrator and not in charge of medical. I
Yeah,
will
they
find
got a
she
messed
does
up
not need to
family,
answer
period.
that question because it's outside her scope. And to further answer it might be speculative. So, do you have another question?
So would it be fair to say, you just said it would be speculative, so would it be fair to say that it'd be speculative that the second test would be a rapid test?
I will make a determination on your motion after all of the evidence and testimony on this issue is received.
Why would it be speculative if the second test is a rapid test? When she says she has a rapid test right now.
Is that answer,
I can't
Your Honor?
answer that question at this
Well,
time,
I'm
sir.
asking it of Ms. Wallenhoff. Is it because we just said it would be speculative?
Well, you
So-
were looking at me when you said that,
Well,
so are you, and I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not a witness in this.
The
I
reason
make
why
the
I was-
determination
The reason why I was
ultimately.
looking at Your Honor is because
Do you have another question
I'm
for
still trying
Jail
to figure out
Administrator
how-
Wallenhaupt?
I thought testimony was supposed to be the prosecution and the defense's time to
Sir,
ask
do you
questions.
have another question? Otherwise, I'm gonna ask the state if they have any more from this witness.
I asked the question, would it be fair to say that it's speculative about what the second test actually was?
Mr. Brooks, I don't understand your question.
I don't understand this question. You ain't alone
What
with
is
that.
it to understand about it? If you were offered a test,
Objection, relevance.
no, it's a question.
Hold on.
I'm
You're
getting
asking
somewhere.
a
I'm going somewhere.
I'll let you get the
You're
question
asking a
out, but I
hypothetical.
would just note you're asking her a hypothetical that, given her role, she might not be qualified to answer, but you can go ahead and ask it.
Well, it's not hypothetical. It's very logical. If you were offered a test and you took it,
It is hypothetical if you're asking her if she was offered a test. That's a hypothetical question, idiot.
why would you need to essentially take another test that could have been done right from the beginning? If there would be any issues, if there would be
she like the fuck.
Right, Mr. Brooks, it's not relevant what she would do. So that's essentially an argumentative
Okay, so
question,
why-
and
so
it's
why would
not
I do it?
relevant. So
Why would
sit
I do it
down.
then?
You're done asking questions because you've
so
now
is that a
asked.
judicial determination?
I haven't made a judicial determination.
Look, all the COVID
Practice
is gone.
Attorney
Off from the
Hopper.
bench by being able to ask
Mr.
certain
Brooks?
questions of yourself.
Mr. Brooks, okay, here's your warning. I'm giving Attorney Opper an opportunity
So
to
you're
ask this
practicing law from
witness
the bench.
questions, and if you interrupt her, you will be removed to the next courtroom.
I don't consent to being removed to the next courtroom. I don't consent to even.
That's not
being
your
at these
choice.
proceedings if I'm not.
If you want to be disruptive and all that, that's not your choice. He get on my nerves with that. I don't consent to this. I don't consent to that. Nigga, you in the orange jumpsuit. You the one to go back to the jail cell. Nigga, you ain't fighting your case from outside. You wasn't able to bail out and fight from the streets. And even then, you're the defendant. You're the one that's on trial. Nobody else in this courtroom is on trial. You are. Your consent is very limited.
on a proper defense, which is my constitutional right to be able to do so. I haven't agreed to any contracts. I haven't.
Oh, I've been checking out
consented
Sarah
to
Boone.
any contracts, and I have
Your
not
objection
consented.
is noted. Attorney Opper, go ahead.
I have not consented.
In between this, that might be the next video I do is the Sarah Boone interrogation. Oh my God. Oh, that interrogation was wild. Like I swear, if there was ever a female version of Darrell Brooks inside the interrogation room, it was Sarah Boone.
Thank you.
That's one
Ms.
crazy
Wallenhoff.
lady. I went to
Although
sleep.
Mr. Brooks
I
is
went
under
upstairs.
a COVID
Look, I went upstairs and went to sleep. You know, waiting for him to come up there, even though he was trapped in a suitcase. He had two fingers out, so he was able to get out. And no, we were drinking, but we weren't drunk. But then, well, why'd you go to sleep upstairs and leave him in a suitcase? It was the alcohol, but we weren't drunk. Oh my man. I think we're gonna do that one next. I think we're gonna do that interrogation on the next video.
protocol. Is he still allowed to review his discovery materials in
That
his
woman
jail
was
cell?
something else.
Yes.
Jay Farrell
To your knowledge, are those materials?
The objection overruled.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gonna do Sarah Boone
To
on
your
this
knowledge,
on the next
if
video.
you know, are his discovery materials currently in his jail cell?
Yes, ma'am, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
Is he
I
still
object
able?
to that, Your Honor. I'm not allowed
Sir,
to
her
keep.
answer stands. There's no question to which to
I
object.
object to that. There is.
You can't testify at the moment. If you want to provide further information after she is done testifying, I will give you that opportunity.
Will she?
Your
will she be
objection
able to-
is
Will she
overruled.
be able to stay right there so I can ask the question?
It's not your time yet. You have to wait. So this is the final warning. Okay, I've given you a lot of leeway today.
You have not, Your Honor. You haven't. No.
I am turning to Attorney Opper. It is her opportunity, her turn to ask this witness a question.
And it is my right to be able to object, just like.
Yeah, he does that. Just like when he had that argument about things that he had to abide by, but the district attorneys didn't have to abide by. You're not on their level. Okay, you chose to represent yourself, which, I mean, you didn't pass the bar or nothing, so you're not even a real lawyer. And they allow you to do that. That's your right to defend yourself, which was stupid. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, yeah, they're gonna have a little bit more leeway with things than you because they're not on trial. You are. You're the defendant. Like Attorney Opper said, the defendant. That's the only part I agree with him on when he was like, oh, she had to say it like that, the defendant. And they was like, she didn't, the judge said she didn't say it like that. Yes, she did.
Court rules on an objection. Usually the party who objects stays silent. I rule on the objection. Wow. The parties don't debate the ruling. It's noted for appeal. And then we move on.
Then I would like to put you on notice that I will be appealing that judicial decision that you are making.
Next question, Attorney Opper.
The judicial determination.
Ms. Molenhop, while on COVID protocol, does Mr. Brooks have access to the tablets in his jail cell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, he
and
does.
that tablet has legal materials available for him to access
yes, they
if
do.
he so chooses. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And while
now, mind you, this is the jail administrator. Remember, he said they're not allowed to have tablets in the cells and all that type of stuff, which is bullshit, because in the jails today, and I can't say for sure, but going off the jail administrator, it's got to be the truth. And not only that, I got a few people I still correspond with in jail. Hell, my older brother has been in prison for over 30 years. He should be getting out any day now. And you know how I communicate with him? Through the Getting Out app. The place where you can communicate, text message, send pictures, send money, all that type of shit with inmates. And you know how you do that? Because they all carry tablets. They issue them tablets now. Yeah, the prisons have moved up. They some cheap ass tablets that barely work half the time, but they had to start accommodating and evolving to what the world was on today. So being that they have these tablets, the inmates really can't be nowhere without their tablets. That's their information, that's everything. That's how they get their sick calls in, their grievances. That's how the caseworker hits them up and everything. So they can definitely take their tablets in the cell. When I talk to my brother on the phone, you know where he's talking to me from? He calls me from the tablet. He's sitting on his bed in his cell talking to me. How do I know this? Because I've asked him. So this dude full of shit, where you gonna leave the tablets at? Everybody gonna leave the tablets out in the day room? That's not how that works. You're responsible for something. You keep that responsibility with you. We're talking about jail and prison.
COVID protocol, does he have access to the conference room, which also contains a computer with further legal materials?
Yes, ma'am.
And nothing about
yeah,
the protocol
Rebecca
would
wasn't
restrict
taking no
his
shit.
access to any of those materials. Is that correct?
Correct, ma'am.
And you've
I
indicated
I
previously.
object to that respectfully, Your Honor.
So, an objection goes to whether there's lots of rules of evidence that apply, but if you're objecting to her answer, that's a different thing. You can argue that.
I don't know. I hope he
read.
read them. I hope he see all
Okay,
my
the
videos.
objection, but then you have to say objection before she answers. You objected after she answered.
She didn't answer the last
The
question.
objection is noted, it's overruled, her answer may stand.
Man, put your
next.
hand down.
Ms. Wollenhop, you're aware that there has
Shit.
been digital discovery made available to Mr. Brooks for him to view in the Waukesha County Jail, correct?
I respectfully object to that.
Overruled, she may answer.
Correct.
he would view that digital discovery on the computer in the conference room in his pod,
I
correct?
respectfully object to that.
What, you object to her telling the truth? You object to her telling the DA what you're able to get, what you're able to do, the rights that you have inside the jail? Like, what are you objecting to?
Gold, you may answer.
Correct, ma'am.
And
So-
I'm
you gonna
objecting because it's
overrule
exposing
everything,
my
Your Honor?
lies.
All right, Mr. Brooks, you have got to stop. It's fine if you object. I will rule on it as I deem appropriate under the rules of evidence, which, by the way, I provided a copy for you. See that big book over there?
No, I don't
It
see
has
it.
the criminal statutes.
don't see it.
It has the
That's that
traffic
Bernie
code. It
Mac
has the
said.
rules of evidence.
You ain't no
Well,
punk.
it's
You's a
on
new
your
fool.
table. It's behind the microphone, and it's there. I've provided it to you as a courtesy so that you have that available
You did not
to
provide
you.
anything to me.
Right, I'm
Something
directing the
that-
bailiffs to
something
remove
that
them
may
to the
have-
other courtroom.
something
I've
that-
provided ample
Look,
opportunity
where's that?
for
Look,
Mr.
where's the sickness? Where's the COVID? He ain't stopped talking. Where's the respiratory system messing up? Because if I'm not mistaken, ain't that usually what COVID do? Mess up your breathing and stuff? That's what happened to me. It wasn't just no fatigue and lost of taste. Nigga, you might just had a flu.
I've never
Brooks to
taken
abide by the
anything-
simple
I've
rules
never
of
taken
decorum
anything,
and
Your Honor.
civility.
Which is a different type of COVID.
Your Honor, I don't
He is-
consent or agree to what you are doing.
Your lack
I don't
of
give
consent is
consent.
noted for the
I
record.
don't give consent to an estoppel. I don't.
I'll
give
make a
consent.
more full record when we
I
are
don't give
open
consent
again to
an
the public.
estoppel. I don't give consent to be removed.
Madam
from
Reporter,
being
the
able
record
to
should
exercise
reflect
my
the court is
constitutional
stepping
right.
off the bench. You may step off.
I
if you want.
move for a motion to dismiss. You still haven't even ruled on the claim. There's no one that even has a claim against me here.
and see that part when he keeps saying that's the shit that make me want. Oh man, even if I even not being one of the victim's family members or anything like that, if I had been in that courtroom, I probably wouldn't have been able to control myself. At least not control myself from saying something. But I probably would have dove on this dude the first time he would have said, "There's nobody even to bring a claim against me." Saying that my accuser, I have the right to face my accuser. Yeah, you do. All the witnesses and all that got up there, you know what I'm saying? All the victims' families, members that spoke, those are your accusers. And facing your accuser, which the DA had to pick it up. Okay, well then face Attorney Opera. Attorney Opera wasn't taking none of your shit anyway. But when he sit up in there and talk about there's nobody that even has a claim against me, I don't understand the nature of these charges. So you mean to say you don't understand mowing down people? The fact that you even asked for the whole case to be dropped was downright disrespectful. Like, I mean, come on now. I probably wouldn't want to serve no life sentence or anything like that, but I would almost expect it. Man, forget almost. I would expect it. But damn, I would have fought hard enough to just get one life sentence with eligibility of parole after rehabilitation. But nah, you and your mama got your ass over 1,000 years. 6 life sentences plus 1,000. When they get that nigga like 2 million? 2 million years? And they gave that nigga some racks. That's the only racks you getting, Math Boy Fly. And like, man, you go to this fool's Twitter. Like, if y'all ever go to his Twitter, it's under Math Boy Fly. Just go look at that idiot. Man, I'm telling you. Matter of fact, don't go do it, because if you guys already discuss it and he piss you off with just his court case, don't go over there and look at his shit. Because it's just gonna bother you even more. Like, this was a sick ass human being. Sick in the head ass human being. And as far as Sarah Boone, if Karen is a person, which I hate that they call people Karens, I hate that that's the moniker for people like that, because my mama's name was Karen. Rest in peace to my mom. She passed in '86 when I was only 6 years old. But if a person specifically, one person could be the Karen that they described today, it would be her. And watch, when we do that interrogation, you're gonna see exactly why. Darrell a Karen too. Little do he know. Anyway, man, I want to thank all you guys for stopping through, man. Remember them channels that I named out to you guys, man. Norman Nix, AG Tactical, Auntie Miracle B, Characters. You know what I'm saying? All of them. And if I forgot any of them, man, scroll back through the video, man, and check them out. I'm gonna try to lace you guys up with other content creators that do this Darrell Brooks content and any other content creators I think you guys might be interested in as far as their content. But anyway, man, it is late night, early morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, go hop in my bed, get me some shut eye. You know what I'm saying? I'm one day clean of feeling good again, so I'm back to my old self. Can't wait to get up in the morning to see the sunshine. You feel me? Anyway, man. Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And thanks, David, for that. I love the chat too. I love all the people that come through here because you guys show so much respect, even if people are in disagreement. I'll be watching the comments. There'll be a few little spats, but it's always respectful spats. I love that I don't have a comment section where anybody's being attacked for their opinion. All opinions are welcome here, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. All of you guys are welcome. Y'all hear me? So salute to all you guys, man. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and oh yeah, down at the bottom for people that like to donate to the channel, my Cash App changed because my other Cash App, it was tripping for some reason, and people were donating to that, but it wasn't coming to me, so I feel like somebody else got my little, whatever you call it, my little moniker there. Not this one, but the old one, the DYSE TV 80. So just donate to the DDM TV 80 and it'll be good. And that's if you want to, if you would like to support the channel. I don't ask people for Cash Apps because, hell, I get up and I work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need nobody giving up their hard-earned money to me to do this stuff for something that you guys watch for free. I appreciate the super chats and all that and everything you guys do to donate, but it's not a must that you do that. Like, I don't want anybody trying to, well, I need to pay $60 on my water bill. I'm gonna give DYSE $10. Nah. You really want to support me, pay a bill, pay anything, buy some groceries, and say, man, DYSE told me to keep this donation that I was gonna give to him. He actually helped me put groceries in my house, helped me pay a bill or whatever. You feel me? The best donation that you can give me is hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button and sharing the video with your people. Anyway, family, thank you guys for tuning in. Salute to y'all. I love y'all, man. Thanks to y'all. I am who I am. Peace.